Good morning and welcome to the first panel discussion that we have today. I am Konrad, I am the Guides and Crew Commissioner, and I will moderate all of the panel discussions today. So the panels that we have today are part of the virtual info market that we organized. You can reach all of the study associations, student associations pages if you click on the Aulicon event in the app, as you already did. And you can also ask questions, and I will ask those questions in the second part of the first panel discussion. So we start with the International Student Association panel. We have Leiden United, ESN, and AL joining us. And I would like to ask you to introduce yourselves.
All right, my name is Sophia. I'm the president of ESN Leiden.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Hi, my name is Arena and I'm the president of Leiden United.
Hi, I'm Lisa and I'm the treasurer of Orientation Week Leiden.
Could you just give a couple of sentences about your student associations? What do you do? What programs do you have for the international students?
Of course. ESN Leiden is a local section of ESN International, which was founded by the EU to integrate international students. Our mission this year, especially considering Corona and everything, is to provide new students with a home away from home. We do that through a bunch of activities. Our September calendar is already full. You can check it out on our social media. It's on Instagram and Facebook, it's ESN Leiden. We also offer a bunch of clubs. I think 13 in total. These range from book clubs to Zumba clubs, and if you don't find anything you like, you can still come up with your own club. Other than that, we organize a couple of trips during the year. Of course, we're taking all restrictions into account by organizing our activities, and you can buy our membership card and get a bunch of perks locally and internationally with them.
Okay. Hi, I'm Rina again. And I'm from Leiden United. So Leiden United is all about international friendship and bringing people together, crossing borders, and just making friends all over the world, and especially bringing Dutch and international students closer together here in Leiden. So we organize dinners. That's like one of the main perks for our members, and there they get to meet each other, hang out, and just make friends for life. And for the internationals, they can meet the Dutch people, and the Dutch people can meet the internationals, which is also a really nice thing. But we also organize other events. For example, board game nights. Normally, we also do parties, but this year this might not happen. Then other like dance classes, kayaking tours, and little trips. So this is the main thing that Leiden United is all about. And we just want to bring people together and make you feel home here in Leiden.
Hi, so I'm from Orientation Week Leiden. We've organized this week for you guys. We do that twice a year. So in winter we have an introduction week, and then in summer. I hope you're all enjoying this one a lot. So during the week, we organize all the activities for you. And then after the week, we have our partners here who will take over from us and organize events for you. As you probably already know, we're recruiting for the board for next year. So if you would like to help us organize this, you can apply. If you don't have the time for that, you could also join as guide or crew for next winter or next summer. It's a really fun community, and you will meet all of the international students and be able to organize this amazing week for them.
Thank you. Sophia, I would have a question for you first. Is ESN only for Erasmus students?
No, that is, I understand by that name that it can be very confusing. It is for all internationally minded students, so also Dutch students who want to meet more international students or have grown up abroad. It's our mission this year, our motto is actually strengthen diversity, so everyone is welcome.
Okay, that's good to hear. You just changed name, right?
We just changed names last year. I think the last couple of years we were called ISN, International Student Network. But since we're part of a bigger international network and they all changed their names to ESN, we had to do that as well. But we're still the same.
Thank you. Sophia, okay, we talked about the clubs as well that you have and organized. Could you specify that for the students? Like what kind, you mentioned a couple of clubs, but only members could join? How do they work? Do you organize something where they can meet the clubs?
So we have our Facebook pages for each club that you can join, and all the information is on there. The clubs usually meet once a week. We also have board game clubs, we have gaming clubs. You can also see it all on our Facebook page, what kind of clubs we have. And it's just for everyone who has the same interest to come together and have fun doing that activity. Everyone can join that has a membership. So, yeah.
Okay.
And we will be at the clubs market tomorrow night. So tune in for that.
I was hoping for that, that you're going to say that. Irina, you also mentioned dinners.
Yes.
What kind of dinners could international students participate at?
Okay, so we organize dinners at the big 5 student associations here in Leiden. This is a really central part of Dutch student life to be part of a student association, and it's sometimes, or it's normally hard for international students to get access to that. But we partner with them and organize dinners at their restaurants, so you get to see those student associations from the inside, and you can also meet the people who go there to the dinners. But you also get to hang out with your own group and just make new friends and find out more about Dutch student life at the same time. Isn't that amazing?
Also, is Leiden United filled with Dutch members?
Yes. So normally we have about 50% Dutch members and 50% international members. We'll see how this will work out this year, because I think a lot of international people would want to join, or maybe more international people would want to join just to meet new people because of the online class situation. But in general, it's very equal. And
Okay, thank you. So Lisa, we talked about memberships at Leiden United and ESN. So how does our volunteership work? Are they active during the whole year?
There are some activities during the year that we organize for the crew mostly. But yeah, the busy period is like a little bit before the week and mostly during the week. But after that, we see that it's really a community, so people like become friends and they do all sorts of stuff together after the week too.
Okay, and can you also talk about maybe the difference in the volunteer group that we have between guides and crew?
Yes, so the guides, they will have a co-guide and they will have a group that they have during the week. The crew helps us with organizing the event, so they help set up and clean up after. So the guides really have like their group of participants, which is kind of their group, and the crew is in itself kind of a tight group. So that's the difference, I think.
Yeah, I approve.
Okay, good.
So this question would address all of you. COVID-19 kind of changed all of our lives. That's why we have this panel discussion virtually as well. And that's why we have the OWL app for the week too. How did COVID change your student association's lives? Sophia?
For sure, we have to rethink all the activities that we used to do during the week and during the year. We usually have international nights at a local bar called Einstein, which was usually a party. Now we have talked to the owner of Einstein. We're changing it up and just having a couple of drinks and some board games. So yeah, we have to change up a lot of things. We usually have monthly cocktail parties as well, and we're trying to figure out how we could continue them with the current restrictions. So stay tuned on our social media about that as well. But we're making sure that a lot of activities are actually held in shifts, so we don't have too many people together. We are ensuring distance as well, and we're trying to do our best to actually provide you with a good student life still with all these restrictions.
Irina?
Yeah. Okay, I mean, we are really happy that we, even though, even because of, I'm sorry, even with the COVID situation, we can still do our dinners at the student associations. The only thing that changed is that we have one dinner last this semester, but it will go back to normal next semester. This is, of course, really good news for Leiden United and for you guys as well. And of course, we have to be more careful with our events. And like Sophia already said, parties are not possible right now. And we have to keep a distance, so we will have to make the events a bit smaller and our groups as well a bit smaller, so we can still go to dinners and hang out with a safe distance. But in general, I don't think we should let COVID stop us from having fun.
Okay, thank you. Well, Lisa, I think that it's obvious for our students how COVID changed OWL, but can you maybe give us some insight from behind the scenes, like what changed?
Sure. Yeah, so we had to cancel a lot of our events that we usually have. But I think the good thing is that we got to be creative and have new events, especially online, since a lot of you I know are only joining our online. For example, we have the Match app now, which was a huge success, and it's definitely something that we can use in next years as well. So I think that even though the week isn't as full as it usually is, we still have a good basis for you to start your new life here, to find new friends. We still have the groups like we usually do. And we also have a lot of online content for the people that could not be here. So I think that even though it's not the same way as we usually do it, it's still a really good week for us. And I think we still reached our goal of giving you a good start in Leiden.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, for the next question, I would address ESN and Leiden United, because you talked about membership and all of the fun activities that you have, but could you describe the difference between your associations? Have you ever thought about that?
I think Leiden United and ESN have the same goal in general, and
definitely.
we've also discussed collaborations yesterday.
Yes.
I think the main difference is that Leiden United actually actively brings Dutch and international students together. And for ESN, it's just everyone just comes, and we don't have the dinners. We have more get-togethers and activities that are not as set in stone.
Yeah, and also I think Leiden United is a bit more cozy. So you have the dinners, you have small groups normally, and you just, you get to know a small group of people, and then at the bigger events you get to know the rest of the association, and ISN is more active and,
Bigger.
bigger, definitely bigger, and a bit, more active with their activities as well. But I wouldn't say that we are rivals or anything. I would say those two associations really complement each other. So you can have a bit action in your life with ESN, sorry.
We're all still getting used to the name change.
Yes, you can have a bit of action with ESN and cozy evenings with Leiden United. And this makes your student life complete, I would say.
That's a great answer. So let's just talk about, and I would ask you guys at home as well to just send me questions. I see your questions if you send anything, and I can ask ESN Leiden United and AO if you ask me. But yeah, let's talk about just student life in general now a bit. Do you have any tips for the students who just became students at Leiden University? Maybe you can talk about your own experience as well, because you are guys as well international students, except for you, Lisa. So I know, Irina?
Okay, yes, of course. So one thing I always like to promote is the market. I just love the market here in Leiden. It's every Saturday and Wednesday, so you can go and check it out today. And you can get really nice and fresh food there for really good prices. And it's, I think it's a really good alternative to buying food at the supermarket. It's not packaged in plastic, and it's like goes directly to the sellers. So I think it's a really good thing for you and for them. Yeah, that's, I think, the one thing that made me really feel at home in Leiden. I know it sounds a bit boring, but it's just a great part. I don't know, it's just a great part of my life, and it makes me feel at home here. But also there's a lot of amazing cafes in the city center. I really love Barista Cafe, for example, not sponsored. So they do really great coffee and nice food. Yeah, that's like my big tips for now.
I can just say, so I came here 2 years ago as a bachelor student, and it's all scary. You come to a new city, you don't know anyone. I think the best thing you can do is actually get involved. So I got involved in ESN activities 2 years ago, have been in the committee for the past 2 years. So I think just get involved, get out there, don't be scared. People are very friendly, and just know that everyone has been in your shoes at some point, and everyone just likes to help. So just take every possibility there is to get to know new people, and don't be scared.
Yeah.
Everyone is very, very kind here.
I really like what you said.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So I think for us, there was like zero problems with just getting integrated into the Dutch student life, which is a huge positive thing. And yeah, you can also become, I don't know, president of LU or ESN or board member at AU. So yeah. I'm waiting for your questions as well, guys who are watching us. But I will also ask you about I will ask you, Lisa, about this question. How do you balance our board and your studies?
That's a good question. It's a part-time board, so it's definitely possible to do it next to your studies. Only in January, and then in July and August it's full-time. But even like I had my exams in January, I still passed them, so it's all still possible. One of our board members even had an exam during the week, and she passed that, so it's really possible to combine it with your studies. And I would say it's actually a really good experience for me to have this next to your studies, because it's busy, but it's the good busy where it's not too much, but it's still, yeah, it's really fun. So I would definitely recommend it to everyone.
Then you also do like 2 study programs at the same time and the board, right?
Yes, I'm doing 2 bachelors and the board, so it's all possible.
Yeah, maybe it can also be interesting for the people who are watching. Like, what do you guys study, Sophia?
I'm a typical German. I study psychology.
Okay, I'm not a typical German. I study mathematics and business.
Are those 2 separate programs?
No, it's one program. It's a master's program, so I had the same program in my bachelor's already in Germany, and now I'm here. It was the only university that offered it here, so yeah.
Okay. Lisa, did you mention what do you study?
Yeah, I study tax law and also regular law. Yeah, so.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Our time's up, so let's wrap it up. Thank you guys a lot for the first panel discussion that we had. And we're going to go on a short break now, and we will come back in 10 minutes, I think. Hello and welcome to the second panel discussion that we have today. And for this panel, we are going to talk about general practical student advice and student support that the university and other partners that we have can provide you guys who are here physically in Leiden and who are at home as well. So for this panel, we have Aon joining us. We have Ombudsman and Student Support Service. And I would like to ask you to just give us a short introduction of yourselves. And also, could you please answer the following question? What kind of problems can students come to you with? So, Artie?
Yes. Well, first of all, welcome to the Netherlands or from wherever you are watching this. My name is Artie Pansham. I'm from Aon, and we offer the Aon student insurance to students, international students of Leiden University. We have a special partnership with Leiden, especially for international students. If you come to the Netherlands or you are already here in the Netherlands, make sure to take out an insurance because if you need to have health care or you accidentally break something of somebody or you need to go back home in case of an emergency or a life-threatening situation, you need to have insurance. Otherwise, you will have to pay everything out of your own pocket. So these are things students are going to have here in the Netherlands. Thank you.
Eugene?
Yes, I'm Eugene van der Heijden. I'm the Ombudsman for Students of the Leiden University. I work for 3 days a week in this function, and students can come to me wherever they have complaints about the way they are treated by the university, and it means by employees, administrations, lecturers, supervisors, whatever. The problems most occurring are the, let's say, the guidance problems. There are also problems with the information students receive. Is it clear for every student? What if there's a misunderstanding that will cause problems? So whenever there are, critical situations that cannot be solved through other officers, I'm the one to turn to. So welcome whenever you feel treated unfair. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Chingy?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chingy Van, and I'm a student counselor working at the Student Support Services of the university. I'm here to guide you in the right direction. The Student Support Services gives advice and guidance if you're facing unforeseen personal circumstances or if you need extra facilities during your studies, if you are having a learning disability or other kinds of disabilities.
Thank you. So for the first question, I would stay with you, Chingy, and I would ask you right away, what are the student support services exactly?
Well, we are a department at the university, and there are several people working at the student support services. So think about the student psychologists, the student counselors, like me, the career advice, and there is also the introduction weeks are also part of the student support services, because in general we help students who are facing personal circumstances or are dealing with something that is not study related, but does have influence on their studies.
All right, thank
This
you.
is very general.
Yeah, but I think that students got like a broad view of the students' support services. Eugene, you mentioned that international students can also turn to you with problems. When should I, as an international student, turn to you?
Well, it starts with, let's say, your application for the university. There's that's a kind of impersonal procedure. So a lot of international students, they already turn to me when they are applying for the university, that they are they feel the lack of personal approach. Well, when they have arrived, they are welcomed by you also, and by all the programs and faculties. And then it's getting better. But I get I get a lot of complaints by international students, and that's not that has a reason. And the reason is that there's a more critical time frame for most, especially international master students. And whenever there is something that is not going right, for example, during their thesis, then the consequences are much bigger than with the national students. So, let's say 1 in 3 complaints is by international students, and 1 in 7 on the population of students is international, so it's relatively high.
Mhm. And as international students, we also have study advisors. Would you advise us to turn directly to you or to the study advisor first with our problems?
Very, very clear answer. I would really prefer first go to the study advisor.
All right.
Because, that's the first aid in these kind of situations, and they're more direct linked to the program, and I always have to have a remote approach towards the program, and that's and you are also losing time by directly going to the ombuds officer. But when the people within the program are not responding, then it's
Okay.
then you can ask me to influence and to make things happen.
All right, thank you. Artie, why do you think it's important for international students to have insurance in the Netherlands? Because personally, I have insurance, for example, in Hungary.
Yes, you have insurance in Hungary. There's a difference between European students and non-European students. Non-European students are not allowed, and the same goes for European students, to take out our Dutch basic healthcare insurance. European students usually come with a European health insurance card, but the European health insurance card is only emergency help. And in some countries, the length of coverage is, only for 1 month or 3 months. So once you come to another country, either being a European student or a non-European student, it is important to take out, apart from health coverage, which is, of course, a very important coverage, other insurance coverages like liability here in the Netherlands and like repatriation, because if something occurs, and I will give you an example with regard to healthcare. Healthcare in the Netherlands is quite expensive, especially when you come from a non-European country. The prices here can be, 100 times more than you are used to in your own country. If you don't have an insurance here, then you need to pay for everything yourself, because there's no governmental organization or even the university, maybe in some special cases, but most of the time they won't pay for the healthcare costs, because they inform students what they need to have and what the prices are, what the costs are. If you, for instance, need to go to a doctor, a consult with a specialist only is between 70 and 100 euros for around 10 minutes. And that's without any tests or x-rays or anything. A hospital bed is around 600 euros a day. Imagine you having to pay for that. Guys, make sure you take out the insurance before you come to the Netherlands, so that you are insured during your trip to the Netherlands as well.
That's a really good advice, especially for those students who are watching us from home.
Yes, yeah.
So regarding that, we have another great question. So, and I would ask Chingy first. So we have a lot of students, actually more than half of our students who participate in the AO join us virtually. How would the process go virtually for them, for for example, student support service? In general?
Yeah, if you're abroad and you're facing problems, personal problems, family circumstances, and it will have an influence on your studies, the first person you go to is your study advisor. You will meet him or her also during this introduction week. And they also give advice during by phone or via internet, video calling, and we work the same way. So if you get directed to us, or if you direct us, if you come to us directly, then you can make an appointment with us, and it will be by phone or by video calling. So we're still approachable.
And the phone number is on the website.
Yeah. I wish I could hold it up now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not. So, yeah, you can find it there.
I wish we could just put it on the screen, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that they can find it in the description or your page in the app that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Definitely.
would encourage you to check out all the pages of the partners that we are talking with today, and you can reach them from the Aldecom page in the app. Okay, Eugene, that's a really good question. Do I have to pay for the ombuds officer?
No, you don't have to pay for the ombuds officer. I'm assigned by the university, though I'm independent. I'm not part of any department, faculty, or whatever. But it's free of charges, so feel free. My services are fully confidential, and also, well, that's one of the things I have to add to my earlier question. Whenever you have the experience that you need a really confidential, impartial person to speak with, well, feel free to contact the ombuds officer. I'm the only one who's reading the mailbox ombudsfunctionaris@leidenuniv.nl, so it's confidentiality guaranteed.
Okay, thank you. We have questions coming in, and Artie, you mentioned that you would advise international students to arrange insurance before they arrive. What's the process? How can they acquire insurance while being abroad?
We do everything online. That means from the start of applying for the insurance until a claim, submitting a claim. So if you go to our website, aonstudentinsurance.com, you will go to the page, and we will ask you some questions to give you the right advice, because insurance advice in the Netherlands is personally based on your own personal situation. If you apply there, you can pay online. You don't have to pay everything at once. You can pay monthly by credit card or by e-invoice. You don't need to have a BSN number, which is the number you will receive once you go to the city hall here, because it's a private insurance, and international students are only allowed to take out private insurance, so you don't need a BSN number. So I would like to stress to you guys, take out the insurance from the moment you are going to leave your home for the whole duration of your study. Because, you know, if you only take it out for a year and you forget to extend it, and something happens in between those, in between that period, you are not insured. So, and again, you don't have to pay everything at once. Once you have applied for the insurance, we send everything to your email box, all the policy documents. You will receive login codes. You will have your own policy map where you can make changes. You can extend the insurance, end the insurance, change your address. Well, everything you can think of, you can do in the policy map. And last but not least, if you have a claim to submit, we also do that online. You go online, submit the claim, upload the invoice, and we will transfer the money to your bank account. So yeah, everything is online and easy to do. Of course, if you have questions, we have a client services team here in Holland. You can contact. You can contact us by app, by chat, by email, or by telephone. And all the information is on the website.
Thank you. I know it's not strictly related to your services, but I would be curious what a BSN number is, because honestly, when I arrived here, I was told, I think 1 week later, that I should really get it. And maybe international students don't really know yet what that
No,
is.
I understand. Yeah, it's if you are going to stay for a longer period and you're going to have your study here, it's you need to subscribe to the city hall to receive. We call it a BSN number.
Social security.
Citizen number. It is.
Citizen service number.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that number, you have access to all kinds of services here in the Netherlands. So that is the BSN number. It's something governmental. Everybody.
And it is a unique number.
It's a unique number. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you don't need it for our insurance, but you need it for other services, which Chinky maybe can explain more about, because I think they need it for other things as well.
Yes. You can,
The answer is
cutting me
yes.
off guard here. Well, it's a personal number. It's a social security number, and you need it for governmental services.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you have, if you're eligible for some kind of
Allowance.
Allowances, yes.
you need this number in order to apply for this. And sometimes rental contracts also need it for.
Yeah, and I think if you want to open a bank account as well,
Oh yeah,
you
also
need
if
it.
you want
Yeah.
to open a
Yeah.
Dutch bank.
And the
account.
tax
Yes.
department.
We're not going into that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So students are interested in getting insurance, apparently. We got a question of if they find a job while being a student,
Yeah.
are they automatically covered by our own insurance?
No, and that's why you always need to go to our website for the right advice, because rules and regulations in the Netherlands can be quite difficult to understand for international students. If you arrive here and you are just a student, just go to study here, the Aon student insurance is the insurance you need to take out. But once you start working, having a part-time job and earning money, and you are going to pay taxes, then you are. It's mandatory to take out the Dutch basic healthcare insurance, and that's the insurance we Dutch citizens have and people who work here in the Netherlands and pay taxes. And make sure once you start working and you are paying taxes, that you are taking out the Dutch basic healthcare insurance. Otherwise, two governmental organizations called the SVB and the CAK will send you a letter and remind you of taking out a Dutch basic healthcare insurance. If you don't do that, they will send you a letter again, but along with that letter will be a fine. And the fine is around 400 euros the first time. Again, if you don't react, they will send you another letter, again a fine. And don't think you can escape them, because you can't. So make sure you take out the Dutch basic healthcare insurance. And of course, you can do that through our website as well. You can change your insurance fairly easy. And so that's, that's very important to know. If you're going to have a part-time job, change the insurance.
Thank you. We don't really have time left, but I definitely also wanted to talk about the student psychologist. How available student psychologists are at Leiden University?
How available? Well, they are available. You can make an appointment with them. The first appointment is their introduction, and you can make an appointment via the website or by calling the department. And yeah, that's about it. But how available? I don't know. It really depends on the.
There are six.
There are 6 of them.
7. Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends. in the time period as well. Because I think in the beginning maybe it's not that busy, but maybe later in the year it is. So it's hard to say how available they are. But
And they
Yeah.
also work on the Hague campus. Huh?
yeah, they also work on the Hague campus, and at the moment they're working from home.
Yeah.
So they are available via online.
Yes, I
Video
think
calling.
that students are interested in this because they just, it's a different situation for them as well, especially who stayed at home and especially who will join Leiden University later. So maybe that was the,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they are still available also when you're abroad. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's it. Thank you for listening to this panel. And we will have a break again, and we will come back in 10 minutes. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
have today. I'm gonna be standing for this one because we have 4 guests from study associations this time. And I would also encourage you again to ask questions. I can see that in the chat box, and I will ask those questions from our guests right now. So I would say that let's just start right away. And can I ask you guys to give a short introduction about yourself and your study association? Miru?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Milou. I will be the Commissioner of Education for the Study Association of Psychology this year, called Labyrinth.
My name is Megan. Last year I was the Commissioner of External Affairs and the Vice Chair of this, like an umbrella organization for all study associations in Leiden, The Hague, that are a part of University of Leiden and the University of Applied Sciences.
I'm Margot. I'm the Vice President and the Assessor of the Leiden Kunsthistorische Vereniging. If I correct me, my Dutch is not that good. But it's basically the art historical department, and it's the association which relates to both Dutch art history and arts, media, and society. Yeah, that's for now, that's it.
I'm Sophia. I'm from Symposium, which is the philosophy student association or study association. And we also do 2 tracks. We do the Dutch philosophy track and then also the so-called global track, which is the international or English track. Yes.
Thank you. So maybe for some internationals, for me, definitely, it could be weird, like the concept of study association. When I did my bachelor, I didn't have those. Could you maybe explain what a study association is, Megan?
Well, a study association is an association that is connected to the study you are doing. So every study at Leiden University has a different study association, and study associations also organize activities that are connected to the study you are doing. For example, symposia or study trips to different countries or excursions, and they usually also have the opportunity to buy books with a discount.
All right, and so I would immediately address the fact that we couldn't invite more study associations, but Leiden United, of course, has study associations besides your study programs and faculties. Does Leiden University have study associations for every study program? Maybe, Margot, do you know the answer to that?
Well, so far as I know, pretty much many departments or studies have their own study associations. But yeah, the thing is, it's very sometimes, for example, different study associations cooperate with different ones. So, for example, LKV will sometimes do things with the Albion, which is the English Language and Culture Association. But as far as I'm aware, usually it's every study pretty much has their own study association. So, like archaeology, medicine, yeah, any department and any study. So, yeah.
Yeah, can I add something to that?
Yes,
Yes?
of course.
Well, some study associations also are the Study Association of Multiple. For example, the Leidse Fles, who is the study association for computer science, math, physics, and also astronomy. So multiple studies within the same study association. That happens, but not a lot of associations do that.
Okay, thank you. There's already a question that's really popular. Milou, is there a fee, and what's the fee for your study association?
Well, I don't know about the other associations, but for my association, you pay a fee of €9 if you only want to contribute to one semester, and $17.50 for an entire year. And I would like to add that if, for example, you buy books at our association, then you will get around a €50 discount for the first semester only. So it's worth your while.
All right, and Sophia, for your association?
I think it's about €15 for a year, but out of that you get a lot. So we have drinks every month. We organize trips. We have usually we have a first year's weekend. This year is going to be a bit different. But out of that membership, it's a all year long entertainment.
Yes, and just to repeat it, you're from Philosophy Study Association. Right?
Yes,
All right.
exactly.
Just-
Yeah, we have a lot of events which are really nice for education as well. So yeah.
Okay, and I would stay with you, Sophia. So we have a question. Do you need to be Dutch to be part of the board?
No, I am the first international actually
Okay.
who was on the board of Symposium, which is nice. It's also part of because Symposium used to be we have 2 tracks. We have an international track, which Dutch people can enter, of course, as well, and a Dutch track, which isn't Dutch. And our study association used to be completely Dutch, but now it's of course both. And internationals are just as welcome, and it's really a nice way for Dutch people and international people to get to know each other and to spend time with philosophy. Yeah.
All right, Megan, maybe you oversee this. Like, what's the not percentage, but like, what are the proportions of international students and Dutch students in the international study associations?
Well, that's a kind of a hard question because when you do the study, it's like you're not obliged to become a member, but of course it's really fun. So the proportions of international to Dutch students within a study association, so the members, it really differs. There are study associations that are having a hard time with attracting international students, and for that it may be 95% of Dutch students and 5% international, but there's also study associations that are, for example, that have an international bachelor. For them, it's really, really easy, or it's like 50-50. For example, Tara from archaeology, they are very diverse and they have a lot of international members who are very active as well, who can become a board member, who are organizing events and stuff. So yeah, there's not really like an average for all study associations. It really depends on the study itself and whether there's an international bachelor or not.
Okay, and can students join a study association different from their study programs?
That also depends on the study associations. Some study associations have a deal with their study program that they can only let members in that study that study the study program the study association is connected to. But for example, I am a biology student, and also non-biology students can join my study association. So you would have to ask the study association you would like to join if it's possible to enter if you do not study the program.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have members who are not part of your study program?
At our association, so at Labyrinth from Psychology, you can become a member if you take one psychology course. So, for example, if you are a law student or a student from a different bachelor, but you take one course at our faculty for psychology, then you can become a member. So yeah, you do have to be kind of connected to psychology, but you don't have to follow the bachelor.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a similar thing for us as well. For the LKV, for example, if you just take one course out of all those courses they offer, you can also become a member. But usually, just like if you do the entire program, then for sure you can become a member. That's really easy. And even if you do only one course, that's the same case. You can always join the association. So yeah.
Thank you. Well, we have a lot of international students who join the discussions from abroad because they are at home. Can they join the study associations for this semester? Do they stay at home?
I would say yes, because, for example, my association, we're trying to really bring in many online activities or something this semester because, unfortunately, we cannot really organize borals or gatherings or excursions or any trips, which is really sad, but the semester is unfortunately like this. But we're thinking of other ways to do some online activities or any, I'm not going to show all the cards now, but yeah. But there are some ideas that we have in mind, and so definitely, even if you study online and you're not going to actually Leiden this year, or no, this semester, you still can join, and you're more welcome to join. So.
Is it true for everyone?
Yeah, for psychology it's true as well. We will be trying to live stream all of
Okay.
our lectures and stuff that we organize, and organize online activities as well, and do our best to incorporate all of that. So definitely.
Yeah, I think it's the same with us as well. And also, of course, we hope that around winter, maybe people will come back. We don't know, of course, but if you join for this year, I think you will get a lot out of it. And we will have some nice activities that we already planned and events, and they will be, I think, accommodating that fact.
All right. So we talked about people who join us virtually. Let's talk about physical OWL participants. Where do you meet with your study association? Do you have a room that is provided by the uni, or do you have private rooms, Marco?
We have, we moved. We used to be at Huizinga, like the building close to Lipsius, but now now we're in another building close to Lipsius, which is the main humanities building, which is Arsenal, but we haven't seen that room yet, but now we get a new room. But usually we don't meet with the whole, that's just like for the board meeting, but we don't meet with the association there. Usually if we meet, it's like Boral or like any excursion or something like this, or at the university, for example. When we plan the introduction day or the freshman day, that's going to be the first time where we'll meet. But this year is probably going to be somewhere in the park because, it's a bit difficult to organize it inside. But yeah.
Okay.
So.
Megan?
The rooms. Well, a lot of study associations, but not all of them, of course, have a common room at a university building. Some share one, and some have their own. For activities, some study associations have a sponsor deal with a bar in Leiden, and they have a monthly drinks, or they do their general meetings there. It really differs per study association what they do, but for large gatherings, usually it's on an external location. And sometimes, for example, for lectures or for small drinks or other activities that are kind of study related, it's also possible to organize it at university itself. So it kind of depends on the atmosphere of the activity where it takes place.
You mentioned the bars. Is it even possible right now with all the measures? How do you see it?
For that, we have to adhere to the rules of the bar itself. So if the bar says you have to keep, of course, we have to keep distance at all times. And if the bar tells us so, we have to do that, of course. Because bars can get fined if the people who are inside don't adhere to the rules. So, of course, if a study association wants to organize an activity in the bar, it has to be fit for social distancing, of course.
Okay. So I would have a question for Milo. So one student asks, is it possible because you mentioned the discount for the study books, is it possible for an international delivery of books for those who are abroad right now?
Yes. Right now we work with Study Store, and they ship all books abroad for 10 euros. So if you pay a fee of 10 euros, then we will ship all over the world. Of course, right now it might take a bit longer, but they are working really hard to make sure you get your books in time. So yeah, definitely.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm from OWL, and we are working with university staff. Are you guys working with university staff, or are you independent from university in that sense? Sophia?
I think we're actually quite independent, but of course we love to work with our professors or anyone who's interested in being involved in our events or in any kind of thing. But in general, Symposium is quite free of the university in that sense. Yeah.
Megan, do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, well, most associations are independent in that sense, but of course, when you have a room, a common room at university, it's important to adhere to their rules as well. So I think it kind of depends what kind of activity you're organizing and whether it is at university or not. If you do it outside of university, there's less to take into account, I guess. But most associations would also be an association if the university weren't there. My own association, which is the we're called the Leidse Biologen Club, so the Leiden Biologists Club. We have been an association from 1923, and then we joined the university basically. And there's more associations that have that.
Okay. We talked about which study program are you coming from, but we haven't really touched upon whether you are for bachelor students or master students. Can you talk about that a bit? I would address everyone with this question. Okay, Milu?
At Labyrinth, we are open for all students. So whether you are a bachelor student or a master's or you're doing a pre-master's, everyone is welcome at our association, definitely.
As an umbrella organization, we usually see that most study associations are open to everyone, so both bachelor and master, and sometimes even students who follow a minor at an exchange program at our university. There's also some study associations, for example, North American Studies, Industrial Ecology, that have a specific master study association because there's not really a bachelor that is that goes before. So they have their own study association, and that's solely for masters.
We have the same thing for the art history, for the LKV. It's basically open to everybody if you're a master's student, if you're a bachelor. It's mostly it is usually bachelor student, but it's just because it's kind of less master's student who are following the program. And the Arts, Media and Society and the Dutch art history is mostly for the bachelors, but it is open for everybody. I'm the second year bachelor student, but you can also be on the board or join the association. You can be bachelor student or a master's student, so yeah.
Yeah, I think for us it's pretty much the same. I think that for right now we have more bachelor students involved in our study association, but of course we're always looking for everyone to, be a part of it. So I think for everyone it's open, and we would love to have everyone there, of course.
Okay, thank you. We kind of have to wrap it up because we don't really have time. So one more question. How can people who join from abroad pay the fee of the study association? Maybe Megan?
And again, that really depends on how the study association has their financial things worked out. So to be honest, I can't really give an average answer to that. I think maybe it's better if the others answer that.
Yeah, then let's do a quick round.
Okay. So for us, you can sign up online, and you can just pay online. And if you have any difficulty with that, I would definitely recommend just sending us an email, because we will work with you to make sure that it all works out. But you can just sign up online with us, so it should be no problem.
Yeah, we have also similar thing where basically you can just sign up online for that. You don't have to be physically here or anything. There is a website that you can find on our Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and you can just sign up online and pay the fee online as well. So yeah, that should be pretty easy. So
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Yeah.
It's quite easy. You can always access that as long as you can transfer the money. I think it will be no problem. And you can become a member. I think actually over the OWL website or something that you can find the link to the study association, and then there's all the steps laid out for you, or should be laid out for you. And otherwise, just write us an email or contact us in other ways, Instagram, Facebook, all these things. So you will be fine.
Yeah, thank you for the ad, India.
Or
Check out the
Instagram,
website.
Exactly, very important.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for listening to this panel, and we will have a break again, and we will come back in 10 minutes. Hello and welcome to the next panel that we have for today. So for this panel, we will have a chat with Leiden Pride, Leiden Debating Union, and UNICEF. And I have to say that we have also two guides and crew members joining us for this panel. So definitely mention that as well, just a small owl promotion. So first, can I ask you to introduce yourselves, Charlotte?
Yes, hi. I'm Charlotte. I'm from Leiden Pride, which is like the LGBTQ plus organization in Leiden.
Zainab?
Hi, I'm Zainab. I'm the former secretary of the Leiden Debating Union, which is the debating society of Leiden.
Hello, I'm Carmen, and I am also an OWL guide, but right now I'm the UNICEF secretary for the student team in Leiden.
Thank you. And Carmen, how is it going with your OWL group? I have to ask.
It's been really nice. It's been very pleasant. Everybody's getting along very well. And the other day we had a really nice walk through the city. The weather is sort of a bummer at the moment, but it's good to get accustomed to the Dutch normal.
Yes, definitely. And I would tell this to all of you who are watching and who are going to join the physical activities today, to just check the notifications in the app and that we are sending, because we have a really bad weather today in Leiden, so we have to get accustomed to it. Okay, so first I would like to ask you about membership. Charlotte, who could join Leiden Pride?
Theoretically, everyone can join. We're a very inclusive organization, and we don't have like a membership, so you don't have to pay any money or something like that. There's like, if you just want to like join the events that we have, you can just join our Discord server or our WhatsApp group. It's not like you have to sign up or anything, and you can leave whenever you want to. If you, of course, want to become part of the board and like the actual organization, then that's a bit of a different process where you have to sign up. But if you just want to be part of like events and meet people, then you don't have to sign up.
Zainab?
Again, anyone can also be a member of Leiden Debating Union, but it is, I think, a specifically good place if you're into public speaking or discussions in a more organized manner, or perhaps if you did debating before, then it would be a great place.
Well, we want you to join UNICEF. Anybody can be a volunteer for our events. If you sign up to our newsletter, you'll get notified about it. And we always need people to raise awareness, to promote, people who are excited about our cause, people to attend our events. So honestly, there's a lot of opportunities to get involved with UNICEF and not just being a volunteer.
Carmen, I would ask you immediately another question.
Yes.
So I'm sure that everyone is familiar with UNICEF and what they do as a non-profit organization, but you are also a student association. Is that correct?
We are mainly an organization that raises awareness for a project that UNICEF picks out every year. As a part of the university, we are still a student association, but we have members that can sign up to be volunteers or to be committee members or to become part of our flex team, which is like a more stable group of volunteers.
And what kind of connection do you have to UNICEF in Leiden?
Well, there's a Dutch headquarters in the Netherlands. So each city that has students in it has a UNICEF board and a UNICEF team. And so each team in the Netherlands raises money and raises awareness for a final project that UNICEF sets for us.
Okay, thank you. Next, I would say that let's talk about the activities that you have. And if you could talk about the physical and the virtual activities that international students from abroad could join, that would be nice, because we have students watching us from all over the world right now. So Zainab, could you talk about the activities for the debating union?
Yeah, so we normally meet twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and those meetings kind of go as like a workshop plus a training or a debate or like 2 debates in a row. But with Corona, we kind of had to switch online, but we're going back to in-person meetings in September. So for as long as we can do it, we want to, or we are gonna do in-person meetings. But also, if people want to do online debates, that's also gonna be possible because it all depends on what members want to do or how much demand there is. So I can say we will both have in-person and online debates throughout this year, at least until Corona is over.
Okay, thank you. Charlotte?
Currently, we don't have any physical events planned because usually our events are like karaoke nights or gaming nights or something like that. And we can't make that possible at the moment with the space that we have because it's not very big. So right now we have everything online. We have like different clubs. We have like a book club where every month we read a new book. Every second week on Friday nights we watch a movie together. We also have like a gaming club where people can play Animal Crossing together and talk about it. And then starting from September, we're going to have more interactive events like a Bob Ross painting session. And that's kind of what we have right now. And we hope that maybe at the end of the year or beginning next year, we can have physical events again, depending on like governmental regulation and the situation.
Yes, you mentioned that you don't have physical events, but tomorrow you will organize a physical activity for the OWL participants, right?
Right. We have a workshop tomorrow on Thursday, I think from 10 to 2. My colleague Esme is doing that. So yeah, okay, that's one physical event we're having. So if you want to join, you can sign up, I think via the OWL app. Yeah.
Yes, we definitely do. And the people right now are watching us from the OWL app. So thank you. Carmen, do you want to talk about your activities too?
Yes, I would love that. So at the moment, we are not allowed to organize any physical events as per UNICEF headquarters. They have told us that it's just not safe. And so at the moment we are sort of gearing towards online where we could organize movie nights and have discussions about relevant topics to do with children's rights or to do with the current cause that they're supporting, which is Burundi, mothers in Burundi. And so I guess we will have to wait and see, but at the moment we are deciding to raise awareness online and just stick to doing online activities.
Okay, thank you. So that means that the people who join you, are they joining virtually as well? How does the process go?
Well, I receive a lot of emails from people who are overseas at the moment and who cannot come here because of COVID. And we tell them that we need all kinds of people. We need people who can be present in Leiden, but we also need people who can be overseas because we specifically made a position in our committees that can be filled by anyone who is overseas that will just organize events online. And so they actually are not necessary for being in person in Leiden. And unfortunately, we wish that we could organize more things in person, but at the moment, this is what we can do.
So can students register on the website?
Yes. So what normally happens, the normal procedure is that they can send me an email and then I will add them to a volunteer list. However, on the OWL app, you can go to the UNICEF page and there's opportunities to sign up for the Flex team, which is our secure volunteer team, and also for a committee or just to be a volunteer. So if you go to the OWL app, you'll be able to fill out a form and you won't have to send me an email.
Thank you. Zainab, how does the sign-up go for Leiden Debating Union?
Well, the sign-up information is on our website, also our Facebook page, or you can just message on Facebook or email us. All of those information can be found on the OWL app. But in general, if you just want to attend one meeting and are not sure if you want to become a member yet, we also are okay with people just dropping by for one evening and then seeing how the society functions, and then like we can also give them a physical, like a sign-up form there. So yeah, just contact us.
Okay. Charlotte?
Yeah, so if you just want to join events and see what we do, then you can just join our Discord server where all our events are, the link to that you can find on our website, which is leidenpride.nl. And we also have like a WhatsApp group chat, or you can just follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to join, you can. If you want to become like a more active member and be part of like the marketing team or the events team, then you have to sign up via our website as well. Yeah.
Thank you. I would address with the second question, Zainab, you again, because I know that we paused the question of activities, but I would be just really curious, what does exactly a debating union activity look like? Like, can you give us an outline?
Well, I mean, we basically debate, but we use the British parliamentary format, which is kind of like the standard in European universities. But in regular evenings that are in Leiden on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we usually sometimes have a workshop that is given by a more experienced debater, and then afterwards we have a debate where we can like apply the skills that we learned in the workshop. Also, sometimes it's just 2 debates in a row, but it's basically there. You have a topic, and then you have 2 sides, and each side has 2 teams. So you try to not only defeat the other side, but also defeat the team that is on your side. So it's kind of fun. There are some rules that you have to kind of take into account for. For instance, we have 7-minute speeches, 5 minutes for beginners, and just things like that that you will learn like throughout the workshops and such. But we also sometimes travel together to tournaments and stuff. So I would say that is also a part of our activity scheme. That usually happens on the weekends, and you get to choose where you go to. And yeah, more information can always be found on that on our Facebook and the website. And yeah, you can just message us.
And you mentioned that so you have workshops. So do you only practice debating, or do you also teach debating?
Yeah, we do both. That is what we aim with the workshops. So especially in September, that is more like the beginner month, and we have introduction to debating workshops where like people from any level of experience can learn what the gist of debating is, also how we do it in the society. But yeah, we get to learn the basics in the workshops, but we also get to apply them in debates. Also, throughout the year, when people get more experienced, we usually have more like kind of practice-based debates where people prepare for tournaments and stuff. So yeah, it all depends on what you want to make out of debating.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for all of you, but we should go in order, okay? So are your activities weekly or monthly or more often, Charlotte?
It really depends. So we have like a monthly book club where every month we read a new book. So that's kind of monthly. And then we have every second week we watch a movie together. So that's every second week. And then like in the gaming channel, we have people just kind of write whenever they feel like it. So it's not like a set time. And yeah, it's really, our organization tries to be really like free and fun with not a lot of commitments you have to have. So if you just want to like check by and see how it works out, then you can do that. And if you don't like it, you just leave again. And that's kind of what we aim for, to be like fun, to build a community, and to have like a safe space for people to express themselves. And so yeah, that's kind of, so it's like all mixed together, whatever you're interested in.
I will ask you another question about that. Are the activities, you mentioned that they are like for fun, but do you also support LGBTQ students?
Oh, yes, we do. We have like, on our website, we have resources for LGBTQ plus students. For example,
if you need like psychological help or something like that, we provide on our website resources who you can contact, who can help you. We also have like a buddy program, which means that if you're scared to join an event because you don't know how it's going to work, or what the society expectations are, one of us on the board will like meet you privately, either online or like in real life. It kind of depends where you are and if you even want to meet. And then we kind of help you through and attend an event with you. It used to work quite well when you could actually go to events. So if you were like scared to join like a gaming night or like a karaoke session, one of us would go with you and just like make sure that you have us to talk to the entire night. Now this is a bit more complicated with the online events, but we do try to like tell you how everything works and be there for you. So that's kind of what we do.
Okay, Zainab?
Well, we have meetings twice a week, but they're not mandatory, so it really depends on the person if they want to show up twice a week or once a month.
So you mean that you as a board member are present at the weekly, like the two meetings weekly, or sorry, I didn't really understand what you meant by that.
Yeah, so to clarify, we have meetings twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesdays, we're usually in the law faculty from 7 p.m. onwards, and on Thursdays, we used to always be at Plexus on the second floor. However, that might be changing because of COVID. So the Thursday location is subject to change, but that's also from 7 p.m. onwards. And that happens every single week. So unless, it's a unique situation. But yeah, we're just always there twice a week from 7 p.m. onwards. So members can and do show up whenever they're available.
Thanks, Carmen.
Well, last year the board organized bigger events a few times a month, either every 2 weeks or once a month, depending on the size of the events. And examples of these events could be clothing drives, where everybody brings their used clothes and sells them to other people, which is a really sustainable way of getting cute new items of clothing. And they also were organizing a gala, which would have been a really big event with another student team in Delft. And they wanted to bring together both cities to raise funds for UNICEF. And so in that case, it would have been a more special case. So it would have been like after 2 months of not organizing an event. And then more around the seasonal times of the year, like Christmas, they try to organize karaoke nights that have to do with Christmas and singing Christmas songs. So we are going to try to follow this format, but due to COVID, now we have the opportunity to organize events more often that require less planning, that are online, that people can just join more easily and are more accessible. So that's sort of the format that we are going to try to follow.
Thank you. We are kind of out of time, so I would just ask all of you, do you have last remarks for the participants?
Well, my remark would probably just be that everyone is welcome to our organization. We're all very easygoing, and if you just want to try it out, feel free to try it out. And if you don't like it, we are not offended if people just leave our Discord server or the WhatsApp group. It's quite normal for people to come and go. So if you want to have some fun, I guess you are always free to join us.
So we're always active on Facebook and email. So if you have any questions about any of the functions of the society, you can always contact us there. You can also contact us in the chat during the Owl Week. And yeah, we're always open to answer your questions and welcome you.
We appreciate any help that we can get as a charity, and anyone who has more questions is totally welcome to send me an email or to contact us on Facebook. But honestly, I think we organize such passionate and fun events. I think everybody should come by and give it a try. We really appreciate that, and UNICEF does too, because everything goes towards our final goal of raising money for Burundi this year. So we hope to see you at any of our events soon.
Thank you, and thank you for coming, and thank you for joining us, and we will have another break again, and we will be right back in 10 minutes again. Hi, welcome to the last panel that we have today. And we have the panel for the last but not least regarding sports. So, Studenten Sports Leiden, Aquamani, and USC, the University Sports Center, joined us today. As we did it before, I would start by asking you to just give a short introduction about like yourself and association, etc. Aquamania?
Hello, I'm Jelle. I've been a member of Aquamania for about 5 years now. It's the local student swimming and water polo club. Personally, I play water polo. We have 4 trainings a week, 2 trainings for swimming on Monday and Thursday evening, and water polo on Monday and Wednesday evening. Otherwise, we also have about 4 times a year large competitions with the whole of the Netherlands for student swimming or student water polo, which is for every level. So if you want to join, you can always do that to see some of the Netherlands. Otherwise, we also a student association, so we have monthly drinks, activities such as picnics, barbecues, you name it. Furthermore, for the OWL members here, we are very welcoming for internationals. Almost all of our communication is in English. Our trainings are given in English, and we are very open to internationals. Some internationals even make board in our association. So we hope to see plenty of you try us out.
Yes, exactly. You had Jana as well, who is our board member right now.
Yes, true.
And she's definitely international.
Yeah, she's from Slovenia.
Good morning, my name is Katelijne. I'm from the University Sports Center. I'm the group fitness instructor. I teach all kind of group classes. We have 70 different sports at the sports center. All kind of dancing, ballroom dancing, salsa, but also Zumba, twerk dance, ballet. Of course, all team sports, volleyball, basketball, badminton, tennis, table tennis, indoor soccer we have, but also body pump for strength training. And for the mind, mindfulness, yoga, Pilates, all kind of classes. We also have 3 fitness centers, one in The Hague, one in the City Center, and one in the big sports center close to Leiden. We also have 2 swimming pools where you can go swimming. A lot of international students join the sports center because it's not only to sport, but also to get to know people. There are almost only students who sports there, so you can meet new people soon. The classes are in English as well, and beside the classes you can drink a cup of tea in the canteen, chat to each other, make an appointment to go together to the class, so it's really nice to go there. The membership includes all the sports, so with the membership you can choose and try out a lot of things. It's all for beginners as well as advanced, so hope to see you soon.
Martje?
Hi, I'm Maartje. I'm the secretary of Studentensport Leiden, which is we represent all 18 student sport associations in Leiden, which means there are a lot of student sport associations. There are associations for basketball, for badminton, for canoeing, for swimming, as you heard. And you can check all of those at our website. There's a nice overview for that, and then you can see if your sport is there. And if it's not, maybe they give it at the UC, so you'll be set for the year.
Thank you. I would start with a really important question for Aquamania. Can we still swim in Corona times?
Yes, actually. Swimming is one of the few sports that is able to do contact sports again. Water polo is a lot more physically heavy than swimming, and that is going to start soon again. So swimming is indeed possible during Corona times.
And did you have to close this year? And did you have to reopen, or how was it?
Yes, there was a closure during the complete lockdown. But then after a few weeks, months, we started opening again with several extra measures, which are not necessary at this point anymore. So it was only for a short time.
Okay, thank you. Martje, Studenten Sports Leiden is basically a student association. Is that correct?
Well, we're more of representing all the student sport associations towards the university, towards the city, and we're kind of like making sure they communicate with themselves and with each other, not themselves, and so that we can also organize activities for members of all the student sport associations so they get to know each other. And a fun bonus is that you can, if you're a member of one of our associations, you can participate in the Dutch student championships. I think also if you're an international, so that's nice.
Yes, I definitely wanted to ask you about that. So all sports associations are accessible for international students as well?
I'm not sure about every one of them, also because some of them already reached their amount of members they can handle, especially now during Corona times, and because the Dutch Introduction Week already happened. But I think in general, most of them are open to it, but you should contact the association itself and they'll tell you.
Okay, thank you. Cataline, you mentioned the membership option for international students. How is the process going exactly?
You can pre-register online on our website, usleiden.nl. Then you go to the sports center and they make a picture of you for your account. We have different apps. First it was with the finger scan, but now because of Corona you have to scan the QR codes and then you can enter the sports center. So the registration is mostly online.
Okay, and we have a question coming in for you as well. So how does it work exactly? Because you mentioned table tennis and a lot of group sports or sports that people should play in pairs. How does it work if people want to join but they are alone? Are there courses where they can find partners?
Yeah, a lot of people come alone and then you make pairs during the class. Now, because of Corona, you have to stay with the same partner the whole class, but yeah, that's fine.
So does it mean that you have to play with the same person for all of the courses, or you can switch partners?
Yeah, the week after that, you can go with another partner. Yeah. And with a new app, you can also register, so you know exactly who went to the class. So if something happens with Corona, we know who was there.
Okay, and the students who are here physically in Leiden for the OWL, can they try out these sports as well during the week?
Yeah, tomorrow there's a sports day, so we have a lot of half hours of sports, so you can try out a lot of them. You can also ask for a few free day cards. Then you can come one day and try all the sports we have during that day. And of course, after that, you're welcome to get a membership. You can choose 1 year, 3 months, half a year, 1 day, 1 week. And after that, it stops automatically. So you're not...
On that note, you mentioned the membership. Students will be interested in the membership fee that they have to pay. So I would ask all of you, maybe let's start with Aquamania. How much does it cost to be an Aquamania member?
Well, it depends on how long. Mainly because of internationals. We also offer half-yearly memberships because some don't stay the entire year. And half-yearly one is 30 euros, and a whole year for Aquamania is 55 euros. However, because we are a swimming association, we need to pay for the bathwater. We do that in a cooperation with the USC. So if you become a member at Aquamania, you have to become a member at the USC too, which means you can have all the benefits of the UC as well.
USC?
For 1 year, it's 152 euros. So it's about 12.65 a month. And when you register before September 13th, you get a 25 euro discount for new students.
Martje?
Yeah, for every association it's different, so you can check their websites how much their membership fee is exactly.
And can you also talk about how you became board of Studenten Sportsleider?
Well, I was a member of the board of Aquamania in 2018, 2019, and Student Sportleiden is actually really new. It was founded that year, and as a board member of Aquamania, we helped with that, and then I just kind of rolled into it, and I became a board member this year there.
And what is your exact position?
I'm the secretary, so I'm responsible for handling all the emails we get in. I'm responsible for taking minutes of our board meetings and of the meetings we have with all our member associations. And I also have to go, or I'm allowed to go to the meetings we have with other student sport, for example, in Amsterdam or Utrecht or Groningen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also nice.
And how international your board is?
My board right now is completely Dutch. But that's also because right now we're in the startup phase, which means we have to talk to a lot of Dutch companies and the city and the university. So it's easier if it's Dutch, but I can see in the future internationals being there.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting that you are pretty new.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just started all this process. So it's not really strictly connected to this panel, but like how does it work exactly? So like to start a new association?
Well, there is already sort of an association in Leiden, which is the PKVV, which is the Plaatselijke Kamer van Verenigingen. I'm sorry, it's all Dutch, but that's the sort of organ that represents all student associations. And it was just kind of weird to us that there wasn't one for student sport associations. So they decided that we should have one, actually. And then you actually just go to the notary and you found a new association. And that's it.
That sounded too easy.
Well, it took a lot of time to go to the notary and make like the legal documents, but I guess that's the summary.
Okay, I see. And I would say let's talk about the students who are at home, who are abroad. I'm just wondering, does Aquamania have any activities or virtual programs or events that they can offer for people who join virtually, or is it just physical in Leiden?
It's mostly physical in Leiden. But during the corona measures, we did offer virtual trainings to keep up your strength and several virtual activities to keep in contact, such as watching a movie together, playing some games together. However, during the regular year, it is a bit hard to do swimming virtually. So probably not coming year.
But could they, so if students come during the year, would they be able to sign up for Aquamania during the year?
Yes, you can sign up at any moment you want. If you don't think you want to go swimming now, you don't have to sign up. You can always sign up at a later date. If you email us at bestuur@aquamanialeiden.nl, you can find it on our page. You can ask for a free training, and you can do that the entire year through to see if it's something for you.
Mm. Thank you. And what kind of virtual programs USC have for the students?
Yeah, during the corona period, we had Instagram live classes. And still there are a lot of small films on IGTV you can join. Also on our YouTube channel from USC Leiden, you can find a lot of films, a lot of yoga classes you can do at home, or some twerk classes you can do, HIIT training. Yeah.
And are those free?
Yes, it's free to join.
Mm.
And Facebook, maybe there are some, but most on IGTV and YouTube.
Mm. I see. So could the students reach those classes from your website, or should they search for the YouTube page?
Yeah, the YouTube page or the Instagram page.
Mm.
it's better. And a lot of foreign teachers teach it. So it's also all in English. All the classes online are also in English.
And Marty, do you have as part of the Student and Sport Leiden, do you have an overview of the virtual activities that sports associations offer?
No, right now we don't, but for the next year we plan to make an agenda of all the activities that the associations offer that are open to everyone, and otherwise they can just check the website of the association itself or the Instagram or wherever they post it.
Okay, thank you. I would say we are kind of running out of time, so let's talk about registration. Is registration online for your for USC and for your associations? Do they have
Yeah,
to
you
sign?
can register online, or if you think it's hard to do it by your own, you can also go to the sports center itself. We have small laptops there where you can register and get some help. Yeah, you can pay online or with PIN or credit card. Yeah, not cash anymore.
Okay, and is it virtual for you as well, guys?
Well, for us, it depends again on the association, and in some associations, I think for most of them, you can register online. You can print out the sign-up form and email it to them, or they have it on their website, but you would have to check to be sure.
For Akomania, you can also find the sign-up form online, print it out, fill it in, and then send it to us or take it with you on your first training. So yes, you can also sign up online.
Oh, that's great. So I was just wondering, it kind of regards all of you, but mostly USC. If I'm a complete amateur, can I also join whatever sports I choose?
Yeah, we have different levels. For example, with a body pump, you can choose 1 kilo weights or you can choose 10 kilo. So it's for every sporter, beginner and advanced. And with dance courses, for example, they start slow with beginners moves and watch who's in the class, and then they make the class for everyone. Also with boxing, there are also people who are there for the first time, and there are people who are there for a lot of years already, so everyone can join.
And does Aquamania teach swimmings for complete beginners as well?
We do expect you to be able to swim a few laps on your own, so we don't exactly give swimming lessons. However, we do give swimming training for swimmers of every level. If you know how to swim, you can join us. We have trainers standing on the side that can help you with your technique at any time. But it is advisable to be able to do freestyle. For water polo also, we have several players who have never played water polo every year. We try very hard to be open for beginners.
Okay, thank you. We have to wrap it up, so I'm going to ask you, do you have some last remarks to international students? Because this is our last panel as well today.
Whether or not you sign up for us, it is always advisable to sign up for something, especially during these times, just to meet new people. By signing up to for Akomania, I met a lot of new people, made a lot of friends. I was also bored at a certain time, which gave me the possibility to go through the entirety of Netherlands and learn a lot. I can only recommend just finding a group that fits you.
Great that you choose Leiden University to study next year. I hope you have a great year. And when you're in Leiden, step by for a free inspiration pass and try out the sports center.
Yeah, that's what I would also say. Just enjoy your time in Leiden here, and if you can join a sport association, do, because it's a lot of fun, as they both already said.
Thanks, and thanks for everyone who watched us, and you can, of course, rewatch every panel discussion via our app as well on a later time, and hope to see you soon.